Hello everyone, this is FredBearCorn25 here, and welcome to another video. Yeah guys, so it's been some time since I last uploaded something here on my channel. It's been, how long? Like a year and 2 months since my last upload? Yeah, March of 2024 was the latest video that I've uploaded onto my channel, and then I just been very quiet. So for anyone who was wondering how have I been doing, I've been doing pretty fine. But however, after my last upload back in March of 2024, I got extremely busy in terms of college because straight up, I had a lot of projects, I had a lot of homework, and even worse, I had a senior project I had to do in order to graduate. So if I don't complete that, I can't graduate at all. So I had to work day and night just to finish that freaking senior project, and boy was it stressful. But in the end, I was able to complete it in time, and I graduated last year in May of 2024, and I'm super happy. So after I graduate, I tried to bounce back and like continue making the Pop Pal animations, and also try to bounce back with drawing as well, because I honestly just miss drawing a lot. But unfortunately, because of how much I had to work for those projects, homework and tests, I was completely burned out. And I just needed some time for myself, just to like relax, and also just like, just get myself situated, because college was just very stressful. But for anyone who has been wondering where I've been for the past year, that's what I've been doing, just working on myself. And also I was busy with testing quizzes. But not only that, I also went through like a lot of stressful times throughout the remainder of 2024, even when I was trying to like have some time for myself. And as much as I would like to tell you all more about what has been going on since my last upload, but I'd rather make an update video on where I have been, and also what has been going on with the Pop Pal animations, the gaming videos, and just also the future of my channel as well. So I'll definitely make that sometime soon. But for now, I'm ready to bounce back and make another video. So yeah, I figured that today we can do another review / showcase type video. And yeah, I know you guys have been waiting for a lot of the gaming videos and Pop Pal animations, but don't worry, I will continue with Papa Smokeria sometime soon. And also, the next Pop Pal animation video that I'm making right now is going to be a remake of my first ever video here on my channel, with that being the blowing, which was a skit from one of my favorite Nickelodeon sitcoms, iCarly. That animation was my first ever animation, and it was my version of it in Pop Pal's form, and I'm actually going to be remaking the entire thing. And it was supposed to be for a 5-year anniversary for Pop Pal, and also for my channel too, because that's when I first created it. But, however, I didn't expect it to be that big, so in the end, it's going to be for its 6th / 7th year anniversary. But I'm rambling on right now, so without further ado, let's jump into the review. So I figured for today's video, we can take a look at some books. And yeah, I know very well that books are not really exciting to most people, including me, but these are actually art books. And if you're already taking notice of the playmat, because this is Beelzebub from Helluva, that's because the art books that I'm going to be showing you guys today was actually made by the creator of Hazbin Hotel and Helluva, Vivienne Medrano, also known as Vivziepop. And also, as a little fun fact, I just recently met Vivziepop along with most of the voice actors from Helluva and Hazbin Hotel. So for anyone who doesn't know, there is a convention that happens once every year in Las Vegas, Nevada. So this convention is called Level Up Expo. So it's more like a gaming convention more than that of like a indie web show convention, because for the most part there's normally like gaming tournaments, there's like wrestling tournaments, there's also like shops and venues that normally carry a lot of like anime and manga, and also like artists' original works for people to buy. And also there's also like panels for people to enjoy and meet and greet some voice actors who are there. And Vivziepop, along with the Helluva crew, they do meet and greets at the convention, along with doing panels to showcase for upcoming content for both Hazbin Hotel and Helluva. Now, they've been doing this since 2023, and I wanted to go there so badly, but unfortunately because of college, I just couldn't go, especially because the convention happens around the time during my finals. So finally, this year, 2025, I finally got to meet Vivziepop along with the voice actors of Helluva. In fact, by the time I'm recording this, I just met them last week, actually. So whenever Vivziepop along with the Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss crew end up doing meet and greets at conventions, they would normally sell like a bunch of things at their stands. So they would sell posters, they'll sell prints for them to sign for us fans. But as for Vivziepop, besides posters and prints to sign, she also sells art books as well that contains artwork that she has made over the years from the past to present. So it's not extremely big and it's like several pages long, but I remember seeing it all over the internet for some time. I was very curious to know what was inside the books, and I already skimmed through the entire book already, but I want to show you guys what's inside there in case if you guys want to get it someday. So without further ado, let's bring them out. Boom and boom. So yeah, guys, so these are the two art books that you can get from Vivienne Medrano herself. But like I said, these books, you can only get these at conventions. So these two books contain concept art, they contain artwork that she made as prints that she sold on sharkrobot.com. And also there's even artworks of some of her old projects that never saw the light of day actually. And honestly, they are just so amazing. And yeah, here's the back right here. So these right here, these are actually, hold on, let me show it to you guys. So on the back right here, these are prints that Vivziepop ended up making over the years for sharkrobot.com. Some were limited edition and some of them were available for some time before eventually she discontinued it. So yeah, so this one will contain all the artwork that Vivziepop made for all of the amazing ideas for a potential series. Some of them never saw the light of day because they drowned in the pits of art hell in which they died. Sorry. And then this one right here, volume 2, this book contains all the artwork for Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss. So you'll see a lot of concept art and characters who might make future appearances within the show, but I don't know. Man, I just honestly just hate Katie Killjoy's grin. I just freaking hate Katie Killjoy so much in the Hazbin pilot. As the main series came by, it eventually became Valentino. But just please don't harass Joel Perez just for playing the role of Valentino, because he, along with all the Hazbin Hotel voice actors, are just simply doing their job. And they do a very, very amazing job in playing characters from the very good to the very shitty. But if anything, everyone who was involved in the Hazbin Hotel pilot, along with like the main series on Amazon Prime, every single voice actor, animator, sound designer, musician, like just everyone. They did such an amazing job to help bring the project to life. And if anything, every single person who's involved deserves a lot of praise. So yeah, guys, so I'm going to be showcasing both volume 1 and volume 2 to you guys right now. So why don't we start with volume 1? So whoop! Alright, so here is the first book, The Art of Vivziepop, volume 1. So let's dive into it. So of course, here is the cover of the book. And for anyone who has no idea who on earth is this character right here, her name is JJ. So she is from Vivienne Medrano's webcomic, Zoophobia. So she was created not by Vivienne Medrano herself, but instead by a friend that she knew online many years ago named Dog Creep. And the character's name was Gigi until eventually Vivziepop decided to adopt her from Dog Creep and turn it into her own character, which is now JJ. So JJ is basically like that of a party animal. She loves to throw the wildest parties within the world of Safe Haven, which is where Zoophobia takes place. But JJ is also heavily inspired by that of Kesha, who is Vivziepop's favorite singer and the voice of Beelzebub. But just recently though, Rochelle Diametz, the one who provided Beelzebub's singing voice, is now actually going to be providing the main voice for Beelzebub now. So just a little fun fact. So yeah, guys, so JJ is probably one of the most iconic characters within Zoophobia, even though she never made an official appearance because Vivziepop wanted to reboot Zoophobia until she eventually moved on to other projects. And let's go diving into the book. All right, so we got another image of JJ right here, looking all feisty. It's like, who you looking at, punk? Highly doubted though, but I do remember that this drawing came from her print Werewolf Girls, which contain JJ along with all the members of her clan, but they are also her friends as well. And then down below right here, we have JJ along with her best friend, Raven. And I think this print was called 4th of July, because hence all the fireworks and the stars and everything. But yes, that is JJ right here, and that's her best friend, Raven. And then now, let's go into this page. Alright, so here we have are just a bunch of like sketches and concept art. So you have like a bunch of like Zoophobia characters and like characters from Timber, and I think a few of them are like characters that she either randomly came up or they were like OCs that were from other artists and they commissioned her to draw some sketch art of them. So yeah. This girl right here, her name is Timber. So she was from a project that Vivienne Medrano wanted to make of the same name. And she actually created Timber as a senior thesis film. And it's honestly a very, very awesome film. So the film tackles discrimination and classification, as everyone in the town that Timber lives in is judged solely based on the amount of eyes that they have. And the film teaches you that no matter how many times people bully you or look down upon you for your appearance or interest, don't let their words discourage you or stop you from being yourself. And the film also encourages you to stand up for yourself and for others if anyone tells you otherwise. And as another fun fact, Vivziepop actually had plans to turn Timber into a full-fledged series, but unfortunately the series just never came to be, but I hope one day, maybe someday it will come back, but we'll see. Oh, and I also wanted to point out to you guys right here, so this character right here, this is actually Autumn. So for anyone who ended up watching Bad Luck Jack, you may remember him, but beforehand, Autumn was supposed to like look humanoid, but he had deer ears, but eventually he had like the full appearance of that of an anthropomorphic deer. And then this is Damien right here. He is the son of Satan who loves playing the banjo, and also the cousin of Jackson too. And then again, that's Timber, and that is a friend of hers named Quincy that she befriends in Timber. And I think this character was also in Zoophobia, but I can't remember. I know this one was, but I don't know. And that's Rusty right here, who's cropped off, who is the bully. And then that is Mackenzie right here, who's also from Zoophobia. So yeah, and then the rest are just random doodles of OCs that I think belong to other artists. And also here is the sketches of Timber again. Alright, so let's see what's on the next page. Is it Hazbin Hotel? Oh, yep. Here it is. Here's the official Hazbin Hotel poster. This was, this is the first design because I noticed that Cherry Bomb is missing her ponytail and that Charlie had a black suit instead of a red suit. And I think also the city as well was not really fleshed out that much, so yeah. But yeah, so this is like the first poster of Hazbin Hotel, or the pilot specifically. And right over here, we have Mimsy and Nifty. So basically, this was a print that Vivziepop ended up making for sharkrobot.com. So initially, Mimsy and Nifty were set to be best friends, but I don't know if this is still canon because according to a former friend of Vivziepop, they said that they may not be best friends, but they can definitely get along. But honestly, I really want to see Nifty and Mimsy like have a lot of moments together because I can definitely see the two of them getting very much along. And also, I don't know why on earth Mimsy's eyes are pink. I think that could be an error, or maybe that's just showing like a soft side of her. But yeah, and then right here is another print that was made by Vivienne. It's called Movie Night, which contains almost all the main characters just simply watching a movie. And this was also originally a Happy New Year's 2017 print. And for anyone who doesn't know who this character is, this character's name is Cry Minnie. So she was supposed to be a main character for Hazbin Hotel, but as of right now, nobody knows if she's gonna still retain like a main character status. So far, Mimsy, she appeared in Dad Be Dad as a minor character, but so far not as a main character. And Cry Minnie only appeared in the Hazbin Hotel pilot. Alright, so let's move on to the next page. I apologize in advance also for the glare. It's honestly just very dark in my room and I just really need as much light as possible. We have concept art for one of Vivziepop's lost series that unfortunately just never saw the light of day. So this right here is called Allison. This was Vivziepop's version of Alice in Wonderland. So the entire animation, despite being cutesy wootsy, it was very dark. So the story completely revolved around this little girl right here named Allison. She is very, very shy and also very introverted, who has been dealing with a lot of personal problems. But however, she ends up in the world of Wonderland and encounters a lot of misfit characters along the way. So basically every single character was Vivziepop's version of all the characters from Alice in Wonderland. So like this one right here, we have the Cheshire Cat. She also had her own version of the Mad Hatter, the Mad Hare, Tweedledum and Tweedledee, which were actually conjoined twins, and they were actually female and not male. And then also Pillar, who is actually seen at the bottom right here. He kind of almost looks like that of Valentino if you think about it. Just look at that. With all the red smoke and everything, definitely gives a lot of Valentino vibes, especially since he smokes from a hookah. And also he's looking through his magical crystal ball to see into Allison's future. Yeah, because he can tell a lot of bad things are going to happen for Allison. And of course, there is the evil queen. So yeah, so right here, and here's another picture of the Cheshire Cat. So he can basically like float around and everything, and also it seems like, he can also actually detach his tail as well. Nice. Some pretty cool. So the entire Project Allison, it was not set to be like a series, but more like a feature-length film, like about 20 to 22 minutes long. So like I said, so Allison is a very tragic character who has been dealing with a lot of negative things in her life. But after traveling through Wonderland and meeting all these very unique characters, as the film concludes, she will eventually start to gain more self-confidence and she'll see a much better outlook in life. Now, I actually heard that several Broadway actors and also several notable voice actors were set to be involved with it. And so I heard the Cheshire Cat was supposed to be voiced by James Monroe Iglehart, who you might recognize him for the voice of Asmodeus in Helluva, along with Tex and Zestiel. And then Richard Horvitz, the voice of Moxie, was supposed to be in this project. And even Maxwell Adams, who voices that one demon in the pilot who says, "Wow, that was shit." And also Lulu for Lululand in Helluva. He was also supposed to be in Allison as well. So this was also going to be a musical as well. But unfortunately, in the end, Vivienne ended up scrapping the project altogether because she realized that it was just very hard to write. And also because she was going through like a dark time when she was also writing Allison. So in the end, she ended up scrapping it. But you can tell from like all the circus attire and everything, it was eventually passed over to like Hazbin Hotel and Helluva. And not only that, some of the characters as well, like for example, Pillar right here, he definitely looks like that he was eventually brought over to what is Valentino right now. So yes, so that is Allison. But also, if you guys want to know more about the history of Allison, I would definitely recommend watching this YouTuber named a.k.a. Lamo, a.k.a. A Laugh My Ass Off. So he made an entire video discussing the history of Allison. So if you guys want to see it, I'll leave it in the description below. All right, so moving on to the next page. Ooh, we got another lost project that Vivziepop ended up scrapping, Classic. So this feature film was supposed to star this orange anthropomorphic fox named Betsy right here. So she is an inspiring filmmaker who has been in the film industry for quite some time, but she has always wanted to make the film of her dreams. So she ends up contacting her childhood friend right here, this guy. His name is Frankie, and it's also this guy right here, but just in a different outfit. So yeah, so Frankie is a very talented performer, but unfortunately he's been rejected so many times in life to the point that he is very unsure if he should continue pursuing his passion of being a performer because he doesn't know if he can make a future out of it. But Betsy encourages him to continue his passion and what he does, because this entire film was supposed to be targeted towards anybody who is in the art and film industry about why you should always pursue what you love, and also why you should always be passionate about anything that you do in life, be consistent, and also you should never give up on any of your dreams, no matter how crazy they might be, or if anybody tells you that it's just very impossible. So Frankie and Betsy end up working together to create the film that Betsy has always wanted to make. But not only that, Betsy and Frankie, they also get some help from a friend named Calvin right here. He is a crocodile and he is a movie set friend, and along with many others too, including this one right here, who unfortunately is not named, so we don't know who she is. But the only thing I can tell you guys is that she helps out with the film that Betsy's gonna make. So this entire feature film was supposed to be a musical, which contained like a jazzy type beat, and also contained several Broadway actors too. So these 2 pages right here, these are like the only surviving evidence to show that Classic was going to be a thing, but unfortunately, it also never came to be. So yeah, so right here, these are just some rough sketches. So it's clear that this is Betsy and Frankie speaking to each other. And then here's a lineup of the main four. So Frankie, Betsy, the unknown girl, and finally Calvin. And here's the thumbnail that was used for one of Vivziepop's update videos to show Classic. So yeah, so the entire thing was set to take place in, I think, in Hollywood, because after all, that's where the movie magic takes place. But yeah, so that was Classic. Another project that sadly never saw the light of day, because it was constantly cut one too many times. Alright, so let's move on to the next one right here. Ooh, look at that. So it looks like we got some prints. I'm not really too familiar with this one, along with this one. I think this was supposed to be for Zoophobia, but looks like that's a mermaid or a siren. Yeah, you can tell she has a very angelic voice, and I love on how like her dress and tail. No, actually, yeah, her tail is like that of a film roll. Look at that. That's actually pretty unique and also interesting. I think so, because the fact that there was like so many characters in Zoophobia, like I just don't even know how many there are. There are like hundreds of them. That's all I can simply say. But yeah, so this is this thing right here of a mermaid show performer, and that's like an anglerfish. No, that's an eel. That's an eel. And then right here, this one I am not familiar with. I think this is a fan art for a musician that Vivziepop likes, but I don't know who this is. And then right here, we have an artwork of Kesha. And I remember Vivziepop did mention that this artwork, I think it was this one, she ended up meeting Kesha in person and gave this artwork right here as a gift to her. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright, so let's go on to the next page. Oh, we have Timber. So yeah, so Timber, like I said, was a senior thesis film that Vivziepop ended up doing for SVA. But she actually planned to make Timber into a full-fledged series. So basically Timber, along with her newfound friends, Quincy, who's right there and also here, and Maggie, they go on like hightail adventures in which they explore different worlds and realms, and they end up confronting either very crazy monsters like this one right here and this one, and also even make a lot of new friends along the way, like this one right here, who I think is supposed to be a reference to Paul Bunyan, but like a werewolf style. But I don't know, I'm not sure. However, because she is currently occupied with Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss, currently Timber is on a hiatus right now, or it's just not being worked on. So yeah, so this is Timber right here, containing Timber herself and Quincy confronting against a monster. So yeah, that was like an official poster. And then right here, we have Timber again, and along with her dinosaur pets, I think. I recall him also in one of A. Lamo's video where he also ended up doing a history on Timber. I do recall this character does have a name, but I honestly just can't remember. But I think this is Timber's pet and companion, but I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, so this was like a new design for Timber and everything. And then right here, this was a print. This is like a rough sketch of the print called Pioneer, which shows just Timber like getting ready to explore the new world. And obviously she has her friends who help her on her journey and everything. So yeah, honestly, this could have been a really cool series. But unfortunately, I did hear from A. Lamo's video, like the history of Timber. She ended up getting help from a company, but unfortunately, they scammed Vivienne. So in the end, the project had to be shelved. But like I said, I'll leave the link in the description of the video so that way you guys can check out the full history. And also, I forgot, Classic also has a full history, like dive through from A. Lamo. So I'll also leave that too. I completely forgot to tell you guys. All right, so next page. Oop, I think this is more concept of Timber. So I think this character was the main antagonist of the series, or one of the main antagonists. I don't know their name, but oh boy, that looks pretty creepy. I wouldn't want to run across this character while in the woods at late at night or any time of day. I like that. She's like, hey, what's that on my nose? Oh, no matter. Time to kill you. So yeah, so that's this character right here. Again, I don't remember their name, but hopefully it's somewhere floating around somewhere. But yeah, this character is pretty cool. And then here's another drawing of them. It, whatever it may be. And then right here, these are storyboards of the same character. So it looks like she is a stalker because it's pretty clear that Timber, Quincy, and Maggie were going to confront this thing, whatever it is. And then this one right here, this is another print that was made by Vivziepop that contains all the main characters. Actually, I think, yeah, all the main protagonists of Timber, like Timber, Maggie, Quincy, and unfortunately, I just can't remember for the love of God who their names are because information about Timber is mostly pretty scarce. And this character also, he looks pretty cool. I definitely would have loved to see what he would have been like as an antagonist. Alright, so now moving on. Oh, we got some more concept art for Timber, and we also got a print artwork of honestly one of my favorite artworks that Vivziepop ended up making. This one is just simply titled Autumn, and here we have Autumn right here, the deer, who, like I said, appears in Zoophobia. So, like, as a power of his, he can shapeshift into that of an actual deer. So he can take form of a human or can take the form of that of a deer, and this is Ruben/Rusty. And also, as a fun little fact, most of the fandom of Zoophobia constantly ship Autumn and Rusty together. And honestly, they seem very cute together. And heck, I recall even Ben Diskin, the voice of Rusty, and also even the voice of Haida in Agretsuko. He actually admitted that he would like to see the two of them as a couple. So yeah, so this one is titled Autumn Walk. Autumn Walk is the name of it, not just simply Autumn. Yeah, like just look at that. All the colors and everything. Super duper cool. Alright, so moving on to here, I should have done this one first, but hey, gotta shake things up a little bit. So I just had to quickly look up this character real quick. So her name is River, so she would have been a friend of Timber, and judging by the looks of it, of course she loves to play the banjo, and she loves to go on prairie walks, I think. So she's obviously a cowgirl / frontier girl, and it looks like she might be an anthropomorphic fox, I think, but I'm not 100% sure, like a fennec fox, but I don't know. And then here we have River right here performing on stage along with like a barbershop quintet right here. Yeah, this print was only sold for a limited time, but it looks very cool. I love it. I just hope that one day Vivziepop does go back to Timber one day. And just like with Zoophobia, I just hope that both projects see the light of day one day. So yeah, these are prints of River, Autumn, and Rusty. Alright, so let's move on to the next page. I think this might be the last one. Oh yes, wait, hold on, let me check. Oh yes, it is the last one. And there's no more after. So yeah, so these are some concept images of Zoophobia. Actually, no, they're not concepts, they're prints, my bad. So this was a webcomic that Vivienne Medrano made during her SVA years, and even after when she finished SVA, she continued with the webcomic. But however, it stopped during the middle of chapter 5 because she wanted to reboot it, but in the end, it was shelved, so that way Vivienne can focus on Hazbin. Alright, so here we have the main banner and logo of Zoophobia. So this character right here, she is the main character, or technically one of the many main characters of Zoophobia. Her name is Cameron Walden, so she ended up in Safe Haven because she decided to take the job of a guidance counselor. Unbeknownst to her, she entered Safe Haven without knowing that she'll never be able to return home. And she has a really bad case of zoophobia, meaning that she is afraid of animals. And unfortunately, she ended up in a world filled with anthropomorphic animals. And this character right here, which you can see here too, his name is Zachariah, so he is the vice principal of Zoo Phoenix Academy, which is the main setting where Zoophobia takes place. And this print right here shows Cameron meeting one of the faculty members here named Jackie. Jackie is an avian and she is also a theater teacher, so she ends up giving a tour around the Zoo Phoenix Academy for Cameron on her first day. So yeah, so Jackie is a blue and yellow macaw, so she is also a shapeshifter, so she can transform into a human and back into a bird at will. And she has a very nice and caring husband named Alonzo. And then right here, we have two of the main 5 characters named Zill and Kayla. So this is the print called Day and Night, which Vivziepop ended up making 3 variations over the course of several years. One for 2012, one for 2015, and one for 2016. I think those are the 3 years.
Nope.
But yeah, this one is the 3rd and latest version. I don't know if there's going to be a 4th. I mean, there's no need for a remake. I mean, this is amazing already. Just look at that. Contrast to Day and Night. Zill and Kayla. And yes, both of them are a couple. Alright, so now going over here, we have this print right here called Don't Rain on Our Parade, and contains most of the students of the Zoo Phoenix Academy right here. So I don't know her name. I do remember seeing his face, but I can't remember his name. So we have Damien right here. We have Sahara, who's friend. The two of them are friends. Kayla again, Zill. This is also one of the main 5 characters right here. This is Spam. He is a anthropomorphic fox. And here we have is Mackenzie. Despite being human, she was raised by a cat. So yeah, don't rain on their parade, guys, because that is very, very disrespectful. And then right here we have Jackie teaching some songs to her students right here. These two, I don't know their names. This one I remember seeing, I don't remember her name. This one, her name is Camilla, who I think is like a cousin of Autumn, but I don't remember. That's Jack right here. That's Vanexa. The two of them are part of the main 5. Again, Sahara, Damien. I don't know her name. I remember seeing this guy, but hold on, I'm trying to think for a second. Oh yeah, that's right. His name is Elijah. Damien and Elijah are best friends. So yeah, so this is a lot of artwork from that of Zoophobia right here. Wish there was a little bit more, but honestly, this is good enough. Okay, and then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is literally a bunch of artworks that Vivziepop ended up making over the years. So which ones was not in the book? Oh yeah, so this one contains Criminy and Huss. That's like bar talk. This one is Kayla meeting a singer in Zoophobia. Again, Pioneer, Besties, Jokesters, this is in Hazbin print. Poker Night, Mimsy Glam, Angel Dust, Movie Night. This is Angel Dust dressed up in drag. Angel and Vaggie, River, JJ, and along with 2 friends right here. This is Nightingale, and this is Magpie. Most of her friends are actually named after different breeds of birds. And then Party at the Beach, 4th of July, Alistair. And then this one is titled New York City with Jackie visiting, even though you can't really see him, you know. This is JJ along with several of her friends. This one, I think his name is Taxi, but I don't remember, and I don't know his name. There's that character from Timber. Oh man, that is pretty spooky. And here is some of the characters from Zoophobia. Autumn with his older sister, Spring. Yeah, his siblings are all named after seasons, so you have like summer and winter. And then that's the same character. April Showers featuring Vaggie, Timber, and then Don't Rain on Our Parade, Classic, and this is another Timber print. Biscuit Bites. So yeah, guys, so that was the Art of Vivziepop Volume 1. So I greatly apologize for having to explain so much of it. I just honestly would love to share with you guys more about Vivziepop's projects, from both the ones that she never released and also the ones that she did release. So now you guys are familiar with a bunch of stuff that Vivziepop tried to make over the years. So this one is a pretty cool book. Definitely love it, especially the cover up of JJ dancing. Oh yeah, one more thing before I move on to the next one. So this one right here of JJ dancing was actually featured in a Pride Month piece that Vivziepop made for Zoophobia. So yeah, guys, so that was the Art of Vivziepop Volume 1. And without further ado, let's move on to Volume 2. Alright, perfect. Here we go. So here we have is the Art of Vivziepop Volume 2 book. And of course you have Alistair, the radio demon, right here on the cover. So yeah, guys, so from what I remember from skimming through this book after I got it at Level Up Expo, the book contains mostly concept art of both Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel. So you'll see a lot of early character designs and also concept work from both the Hazbin pilot. And there's nothing related towards like the main series on Amazon Prime, so it's just like stuff from the pilot, along with that of Helluva Boss. You'll even actually see Moxie and Blitz's original designs in this book. Alright, so buckle up everyone, because you'll be in for one hell of a ride. Alright, so let's get started. First page. I actually did not see this page when I was skimming through this book. So here we have a Alistair design right here. Looks very cool. Obviously, this is showing him in his full demon form. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I don't know if this was part of a t-shirt design that was made a while back on sharkrobot.com, but if it was, it would have been nice to get it. And if not, it's still an awesome design nonetheless of the sinister radio demon himself. Okay, so moving on to the next page. Here we have is a print that Vivziepop ended up making for a limited time, where this was a special Thanksgiving print, which shows Miss Cameron making a traditional Thanksgiving turkey dinner, but Jackie is not anywhere happy to be eating turkey because, of course, she is an avian, so it's basically cannibalism if she were to eat it. So yeah, maybe a vegetarian option might be better, Jackie. And then right here, we have another limited edition special print that shows Jackie and Alonzo on their wedding day. Yep, the two of them are madly in love. So sweet and super cute. Alright, so let's go on to the next one. Let's see. Oh, we got more Zoophobia stuff. Oh, I remember this design of Angel Dust. This was used as a t-shirt design on charcoalbot.com. And heck, this was one of the first ones actually, and even before the Hazbin Hotel pilot was released. Man, it's been so long since I last saw it. It's nice to see it again in this book. Super cool design. And then right over here, guys, these are the 5 main characters of Zoophobia, besides Cameron Walden. So right over here, his name is Jackson Wells. He is a jackal who unfortunately is constantly met with nothing but bad luck because he was cursed as a child. Because after Jack's father died before he was born, his mother ended up begging Satan, who is the uncle of Jack, to at least help her out. Just make sure to do anything to protect Jack after he's born. So he ended up being birthed with immortality, but as a result of that, he is met with constant bad luck no matter what. And then here we have his childhood friend named Zill, who Jack doesn't know exactly who he is, but he eventually found him one day when Jack decided to run away from home. And Zill, he did not know any English whatsoever. He actually only knew Spanish. So despite the fact that Jack goes through a lot of bad luck, Zill was completely unfazed upon meeting him, and in fact, since he had no home, he ended up living with Jackson throughout his entire childhood. Yep, like I said, the two of them are the best of friends. And then the kangaroo right here, her name is Kayla, who is the girlfriend of Zill, who Zill had a crush on her since they were kids, but they didn't eventually become a couple until they were at the Zoo Phoenix Academy. And then here we have is Spam right here. He's a happy-go-lucky, very giddy and excited fox. And yeah, even though that he is amongst the main characters, he was barely in that many pages in the original Zoophobia comic. But in the short, that's a different story. And then here we have the purple cat Venexa, who loves to read books, and she's also very monotonic and normally does not really care whatsoever whenever things are happening around her, unless if it's serious or if something bad is happening to her friends. So right here, we have another image of Jackson Wells, and initially his original design, Jackson never had a cast whatsoever. It was like mostly like an optional thing, but in the web series Bad Luck Jack, yeah, he had that as part of his current design. And I don't know why, but for some weird reason, this drawing right here kind of reminds me of Dear Evan Hansen, because Evan and Jackson, I guess you can say that they both kind of relate, because Jackson has trouble making friends and so did Evan, and always felt like that they were invisible. And I remember Vivziepop made an artwork of Jackson quoting "waving through a window" from said musical, so yeah. If anything, the two of them can really relate. Alright, let's move on to the next page. There we go. We finally got some Hazbin Hotel stuff, and we got my favorite character right here, Angel Dust. So here we have a reference sheet for Angel Dust in the pilot, and along with some posters that were made as like background decorations for, I think, this print only. I remember seeing this print on sharkrobot.com. I really, really wanted this, but unfortunately I couldn't afford it. So this print right here shows Angel Dust with his pet pig, Fat Nuggets. But however, as a little fun fact, as you can see right here, Fat Nuggets' original name was originally set to be Wiggles, and it would have been a nice and fitting name, but I don't know, Fat Nuggets is funnier because the fact that Fat Nuggets is a little plump, and obviously nuggets come from chickens unless there's pork nuggets. But yeah, it was a very cute print, this one. It was just simply titled Angel Dust, and it was just Angel Dust in his room. So yeah, so if you look closely right here, you can see that Angel Dust right here is in drag, which there's also like a separate artwork that was made that was posted separately to show an up-close shot of this, but I don't think it's in this book though. And then right here, we have this little weird derp drawing right here. I don't know, this one kind of creeps me out. I didn't notice that it was in the print until now, but yeah. And then this one was also from a separate print. I think it was a Demon's Night Out print, but it's just cropped to just have Angel Dust. But Vaggie and Huss are also in the picture. And on this page, we once again have posters of Angel Dust. Never sold as official prints, but like I said, these were just used for background decorations for, I think, this print. But yeah, once again, it shows Angel Dust in drag and just a picture of Angel Dust. Definitely one print that can be kept for the record books because I know Angel Dust would love to sell headshots of himself. And this one, that would have been perfect. Same thing with that one too, but I'm just saying this one is like probably the better one. And then right over here is the full rotation of Angel Dust's pilot reference sheet. You can find this floating around the internet, so I won't go into detail for this one. Alright, so now let's move on. And what do we have here? Okay, so so we got more shots from the pilot and also some designs as well. So let's take a look at this one first. Because obviously we gotta start from left to right, not right to left. That's not how we do it unless we read manga. Alright, so first up we have this design of Hus right here, who is obviously playing poker and smirking because you know he's about to deal his cards right. You know he's gonna win. He always wins. Well, except against Alistair. But yeah, I mean, it's still quite a shock to this day that it was revealed that he was an overlord. I mean, I did not expect that. I mean, in some ways, maybe, but truly 100% I did not really fathom the idea that he was an overlord. And then here is just Alistair's smile right here. Sorry for the glare. There we go, much better. I think this was also part of a t-shirt design, but I don't recall. And then moving down, we have another design of Angel Dust. So this one was one of the several artworks that was made for a original song for Hazbin Hotel called Slutty Polka, which was actually created by Gooseworks, the creator of the Amazing JoJo Circus. And yeah, they were one of the several musicians who helped made the music for both Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss. Made for the Slutty Spider Polka Pop. And then now going on to here, we have Sir Penny right here. He's obviously looking swag because this one was his design on the 666 News. Back when Sir Pentious and Cherry Bomb were having a turf war battle. And honestly, it's so funny. I mean, I remember in the non-canon Voxagram accounts, he tried so hard to be hip and cool, which was hilarious. And I also love his hat is a backwards cap here. It's kind of a shame though that he didn't have that many turf wars or cherry bomb in the full series because for the most part the writers had to like condense like everything down so we didn't get so many breathers, but it would have been nice to see a lot of turf wars. But hey, at least we know that Sir Pentious is going to appear in more episodes in the future, so that's awesome. And then right here we have Alistair watching the television, aka Charlie's broadcast of her idea of the Hazbin Hotel or the Happy Hotel. And then right here we have the full lineup of all the demons reacting to Charlie's Inside of Every Demon is a Rainbow. But obviously they are not impressed. But I would be applauding. And then right over here, this character right here, this is the early prototype of Blitz. So he appeared in the Hazbin Hotel pilot. And if you're wondering, no, that's not Vox. That's just a character who coincidentally looks like him. So this was the original design for Blitz before Helluva Boss was conceptualized. So he had like a completely different design, so like different colored horns, and he had like a dark blue indigo type design along with some red and white. So yeah, so this was literally Blitz in the Hazbin Hotel pilot. And also even Moxie even makes a cameo as a silhouette as well. And also even some characters from Zoophobia appeared in Inside of Every Demon is a Rainbow. But yeah, this is the full lineup. But yeah, I still love the one-liner from that 1930s demon popping out and shouting, "Wow, that was shit." I still love that line. Alright, zooming out again so you guys can see the 2 pages before I move on. Alright, let's go on to the next page. Let's see what we have next. Oh, more Sir Pentious, Sir Penny. Penny Dreadful. I remember I did try to do a Sir Pentious impression in front of Alex Brightman before I met him, but I couldn't do it, so I instead went with Fizzerolli. But unfortunately, I cannot do it right now because it has to be a very good day in order for me to do Fizzerolli's voice. I mean, I was surprised when I did it because I never once done it before. But of course, this page is dedicated to the long-lost soul of Sir Pentious, the brave soldier who tried to stop Adam, but unfortunately he was blasted away in a one-hit kill. So of course we have Sir Pentious here and all the eyes and everything because he is a Cobra demon. Died in the year 1888. And then scooching down a bit, we have his pilot reference sheet. So yeah, right here, and just to show all the animators how everything must go. Hood extends fast like a cobra. Hat rim mirrors his mood, etc., etc. Expression in mouth eyes very important. Expression can be very cartoony and energetic. Long forked tongue. And what does this one say? Hat expression doesn't always match his. The hat more depicts his subconscious emotions. Okay. He's spinning a fidget spinner. Of course, he's always trying to be hip and cool. Sir Pentious is from the Victorian era. Of course, he likes to build steampunk machines, but he tries to be more modern and hip, but fails. And ironically, he hates modern day technology despite the fact that he uses that in battle all the time. So, well, very contradicting, Sir Penny. So yeah, so that's just his reference sheet right here. Very cool. Very cool. It's a very cool. Alright, and then let's move on to the next page right here. Alright, so here we have, I think, again, a t-shirt design that says, Penny Dreadful. Yeah, I can't do a Sir Pentious impression. I'm not a voice actor. So this is a design for Penny Dreadful with the Egg Boys. Oh boy, swell job, boss man. That's not accurate at all. Then you have the Egg Boys just playing around with Sir Pentious, and he's currently right now just enjoying his morning tea or coffee, and obviously he doesn't want to be bothered. But hey, the Egg Boys do love him. That's all I can say. They love him, and he loves them. Then right down here, we have another reference sheet for Sir Pentious. I still don't know how come, like, why on earth did they decide to reduce the amount of Egg Boys from, like, over hundreds to only 4? But I guess maybe Sir Pentious lost all but 4 during the battle with him and Alistair, but I don't know. I guess maybe it was done for simplicity, but I don't know. So yeah, so that's Sir Pentious right here. I mean, Sir Pentious is obviously a pretty interesting character. I mean, it was awesome to see him get redeemed, to eventually become a customer to the Hazbin Hotel and get redeemed. I mean, he technically followed Adam's orders and he made a heroic sacrifice. Can't wait to see him more in season 2. Because I just hope that he's having a good life up in heaven, even though he's sadly not with his friends or Egg Boys. So yeah, so that's this page right here, containing everything Sir Pentious style. You like a sunny side up? No. You're getting a dose of venom. A good venom from the amazing Sir Pentious. Okay, I'll stop. It's just always fun to just pretend to be a character, even if you can't accurately play them. Just do it just for fun, that's all. Alright, let's move on to the next page. Let's see what we have. Oh, 2 pages dedicated to Alistair. So this one, I do recall that this was a print for... No, not a print. It was a design for a t-shirt. And then this one is the most iconic image that everybody always uses for Alistair, even though that's just his pilot design. So yeah, right here, this was one of the several images that was used when Vaggie was explaining to Angel Dust who Alistair is, but you couldn't see the whole entire thing because it was only shown for a few seconds. But the painting was motion pictured during the scene in which Vaggie was explaining Alistair. I think this might have been one of the last things, like when Vaggie was like getting really intense, but again, you couldn't see the full picture, mainly due to Vaggie's head blocking it. But yeah, so that's the full artwork right here. Rendered by Jeff Delgado. Alright, and then zooming back out. So here we have is another artwork of Alistair, which I think this was also used when Vaggie was explaining Alistair to Angel. Just shows him like more into his demon form and how dangerous he is, of course. And he's with some stags and some demon stags because obviously his design is based off that of a deer because he was once shot by a hunter. And also he was an infamous serial killer when he was still alive. And then zooming on it a little bit further. Here we have a limited edition Alistair print that Vivziepop ended up making. And fun fact, this print right here, this was referenced in the Hazbin Hotel series. I remember when I saw this moment where Alistair was having like some venison in like a swampy area, but it turns out it was really his room. I was like, oh my god, they actually referenced the print. I'm glad that they kept the idea of Alistair's room being a swamp. And again, referencing the print. Very, very cool. Yep, Alistair is definitely one hell of a character, but you don't want to mess with him, of course. So, it's a deal then. Alright, let's move on to the next page. Let's see. Oh, we got some concept designs, it looks like. Yeah, this one right here looks like these are some of the images of the... Actually, no, this is the entire intro of the Hazbin Hotel pilot when Charlie was singing I'm Always Chasing Rainbows. Oops, my bad. So yeah, so they show the opening sequence of a bunch of eyes, they show Earth, rainbow bursting. Wait, no, this isn't even the official drawings. These are all storyboards of the intro. Again, my bad. I did not look carefully enough. Okay, so yeah, and then they show the demons like falling, Charlie obviously very upset, and then Charlie talking to Heaven, but they disregard her thoughts and beliefs, and obviously it was changed to Adam and Lutz at some point, and then her talking to her father Lucifer, and then going down, showing the yearly extermination, and then once again another shot of Lucifer, and then they show a bunch of eyes and various demons, and finally the exorcist standing in front of the fallen. So yeah, so that was the entire storyboard on how the intro was set to be before eventually it went on to its final design. And then now moving on to the next page. So here we have is a lot of just a lot of sketches of most of the characters from Hazbin Hotel and also from that of Zoophobia. So of course we have Jackson Wells right here. We have Angel Dust's older brother Arachnus right here, who was set to appear in Hazbin Hotel. He made a quick cameo at the end of season 1, The Show Must Go On. He was shown watching 666 News when Extermination was canceled early. And then this character right here, her name is Helsa, who is set to be an antagonist. And Charlie's family knows this other royal family called the Von Eldritch family. And fun fact, one member of the family who, unfortunately, I can't remember his name Levithan, he was Charlie's boyfriend, but at some point they broke up, and Charlie gave a big fat L to Helsa. Inside of every demon is a rainbow because Helsa made a cameo. But as of right now, we don't know anything about the Von Eldritch family. And then we have Serpentius right here, chained up, unfortunately. And then this right here, I think these were concept designs. I think these could be JJ, but just like as a demon, or it could be possible that these may be early concept designs for Luna, but I may be wrong. But yeah, it could just have been just like another character or something like that somebody owned and she drew sketches, or it could have just been just a random werewolf. And heck, it could have been early designs for Beelzebub too. But again, who knows? Then we got another funny Serpentius drawing. We have Cameron Walden right here. And then we have Blitz and Moxie right here. I just love this face that Moxie is giving. It's like, sir, please get off of my face. And then we have Angel Dust right here. Just witnessing the crazy unbearable moment on what's going on between the two imps. We have Alistair right here in the top hat. But yeah, so these are the 2 pages right here. One filled with sketches and a early storyboard design of the intro of the Hazbin Hotel pilot. Alright, so let's see. Oh, we got more sketches right here. Here we have is Lucifer talking to, I know he's from the Von Eldritch family, but I don't know his name. I only know Levithan and Helsa, but don't know the father's name. And I don't think Lucifer even gets along with him at all. But we'll see. And then we have Serpentius without his hat. And then Lucifer with Lilith. Obviously, she is pregnant in this one. But that's definitely not accurate to the current design. Actually, yeah, even right here it says off model. So yeah, this could have been like an early design for Lilith or something. I don't know. And then here we have another sketch of Alistair right here. Partially seen though. Happy/sad. Once again, the Von Eldritch family. And then we have Angel Dust right here. Of course, Snappy Angel Dust. Then we have Serpentius and Alistair. I'm quite the dabber. I think that was a quote that his pilot voice actor ended up doing. I think Stamper, but I may be wrong. And then Baggy right here. Oops, yep, that's right, because she's meant to have an X, not 2 eyes. But who knows, maybe this sketch was actually the foreshadow that she was actually originally an exterminator, but I don't know. Little foreshadow right there. And then we have Husk right here, Grumpy Husk. And I don't know who this character is, could be Lilith, but doesn't look like her though. Somewhat, but not a lot. And Charlie. And then another Alistair right here. Goes on to the second page right here. Oh, and then we have Husk right here, and with pants actually, heck, maybe this sketch could be the inspiration to his current design because Husk never wore any overalls/pants in the pilot. Obviously, Amazon Prime didn't want him to be bare naked, unless if he was Cat in the Hat. But obviously, there is only one true Cat in the Hat, and it's not him. He's the drunk version of the Cat in the Hat, the grumpy drunk version of Cat in the Hat. But of course, he still has a heart. And then this character might just be an OC, or it could be one of Vivziepop's friends' OC. I think Sam, just their horse as an angel. And Serpentious with some eyes looking at him. And then Nifty right here. She's also one of my favorite characters, being my second favorite. She's honestly just so funny and cute. And then Serpentious wants... Oh, wait, is that the same one? No, it's not. Just him without his hat, though, very briefly. There's JJ right here. Angel Dust with Fat Nuggets. Then we have a full body illustration of Alistair. And then Cherry Bomb right here. She's also one of my favorite characters too. Always supporting her best buddy, Angel Dust, and partner in crime. They can just recreate the Barbie meme, except they will both be smirking over what they did. And then Husk, the only rare time in which he's smiling. Unless he be sober. And then Voodoo Doll, Alistair. And then finally, Jackson Wells right there. Just a little sketch of him. And yeah, that's this is the entire page filled of sketches of various characters of Hazbin Hotel and also Zoophobia. Alright, so moving on. Okay, so what do we have here? Oh yeah, so this character right here, I actually had to look her up just before I show you guys. Because I remember seeing this character when I was skimming through it and I completely forgot her name. So this character right here, she is also an overlord and her name is Zizi. So she has not had that much focus, but she was at the overlord meeting in one of the episodes. I think it was the fourth one, which was scrambled eggs. And yeah, so she only had like a single line. And also she made a quick cameo in the pilot episode where she was with this lizard demon right here, along with this one right here. Yeah, you can barely see her due to the spine of the book. But yeah, so this lizard demon right here, he was voiced by James Monroe Iglehart, who was obviously questioning Charlie's logic. Is this girl for real? She thinks. Oh, she thinks. And she's nuts. Yeah, so the three of them were at the bar. They were witnessing Charlie's plan to do the Hazbin Hotel, and then they all laughed it off. So right now, Zizi is just nothing more than a background character, so she has not had that many focus yet, but I don't know what she is the overlord of. Pull up in the monster automobile, canasta, with a bad bitch that came from Sri Lanka. Yeah, I'm in a Tonka, color of Willy Wonka. You could bet a king, but watch the queen conquer. Then I'ma start rocking gold teeth and fangs. Now look at what you just saw. This is what you live for. I'm a motherfucking monster. I don't know what song that is, so I can tell that whatever song that is, that was Zizi's inspiration, I think. So yeah, so this is just some artwork of Zizi right here. Again, we don't know much of Zizi, but hopefully she can get more focus as the series goes on. Alright, I think we're almost done. We only have like a few more pages. Yeah, we only have a few more pages. Alright, so this one right here. Do not know who on earth these characters are. But this almost looks like JJ if she had a demon form, like what I said earlier with those sketches. Or maybe these were early concept designs for the Glam sisters, Glitz and Glam in Helluva. Because I mean, they do look like counterparts of one another, or twin sisters. So they should be. But I don't remember hearing anyone ever talk about these designs before, so I may be wrong. But regardless, they look really cool. And again, here's the full body designs of the two. And then now going on to this page right here. So this character, he originated from Zoophobia before eventually getting transferred over to Hazbin Hotel. I think this character's name is Marks, but I'm pretty sure I'm definitely wrong on that. But oh yeah, and also as another fun fact, I should definitely mention this. Hazbin Hotel was originally set to be part of a Zoophobia arc for like book 2 because they were going to explore about demons and angels. So yeah, so Hazbin Hotel was originally part of Zoophobia before eventually it was made into like an official series on its own. So yeah, so that's Marks possibly. And I do recall he also appeared in the Amazon Prime series and also the pilot. And then right over here, look at this, guys. We have official reference sheets for the early designs of Blitz and Moxie, who was originally known as Weird Loser Demon Assassin Boss plus Lackey. So their original color scheme was red, navy, and white. But of course these were just test variants, so they were not finalized. So yeah, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of some story lore of Helluva before it became its official project. So the thing is that Blitz and Moxie, they were also supposed to appear in Hazbin Hotel. So they would have been like recurring characters, like just like comic relief type characters in which they try to assassinate someone in hell, but they always ended up failing to do so in like the wackiest way possible. But however, Vivziepop ended up deciding to just create an entirely different show, and of course that led to Helluva Boss. But yeah, I mean, it kind of would have been funny or interesting to see how it would have gone, but I'm glad that they ended up receiving their separate series because that would have been way too much to handle or to juggle. But yeah, these are just early concept designs of Blitz and Moxie. But this one right here, Blitz, this was used for the pilot, and then Moxies were never used. And right over here, everyone, we have a character who will be making his official debut in Season 2, Baxter. And I'm super, super duper happy that another one of the original main characters is getting revived and turned into a main character. So Baxter, he was a mad scientist who originally died on the Titanic, but because Vivziepop didn't want to tie in real events with her characters, he instead died on a sinking ship at some point in the 1910s. So yeah, so Baxter, he was set to be one of the main characters from the very beginning. He was always like that, along with Mimsy and Criminy, but I guess maybe Vivziepop had to reduce it down in some way. So in the end, Baxter was kind of forgotten for a short time, but luckily in Hazbin Hotel Season 2, he is finally making a comeback because he will be moving into the Hazbin Hotel to see how on earth do demons even get redeemed in the first place. And many people theorize that Baxter could actually be friends with Serpentius or like work partners, so maybe he was the one who helped made the Egg Boys or something. And yeah, and he is most likely voiced by Richard Horvitz, but that has yet to be confirmed though. But yeah, he also made cameos in Season 1, but you would have to look really closely. Like he was also watching the announcement of the cancellation of the Extermination along with Arachnus, and he made a cameo on one of Vox's screens. And then we have a little cowboy demon. So you have cactus arms. Definitely be good for combat. I think he appeared in the pilot, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's that character, whoever he is. Cactus boy. Alright, so here is the 2 pages right here. Alright, so now moving on to the next page. This is the very last page of Volume 2. Alright, so it looks like we have some concept art of Helsa right here. I know this is the most iconic one. Don't be fooled by the pink. All their eyes say don't attack me. She's the queen of the beasts. She can smell your fears in this biosphere. She's the apex predator. Whatever that means, because again, we don't know much about Helsa nor the Von Eldridge family, but like I said, hopefully they will eventually appear in future seasons because I would love to learn more about Charlie and her family's relationship with them and see another royal family within Hazbin Hotel. And I'm sure she is a octopus demon, mainly because of her hair. And then that's just her in an evening coat, or just simply a winter coat. Alright, and taking a look over here, we have the full picture of the Morningstars and the Von Eldridge family. And this guy right here, as mentioned earlier, his name is Levithan, and he was the ex-boyfriend of Charlie. And I remember an old illustration that was made that showed the two of them together at prom as they both went to high school together. But I don't know if that lore still exists or if it was changed up, but we'll just have to wait and see. And again, here is the full picture, so you guys can see it one more time. Alright, so then now moving onwards right here, the next page. Here is just a frame from that scene in which ZZ along with the lizard demon was making fun of Charlie. I mean, you can't even see it right here, but I think this is just a little key on like for the animators to just to follow so that way they can do the animation properly. But yeah. And then right here, that one was also another scene in which several demons were watching Charlie's message on 666 News. These are just a bunch of gangsters who simply made a cameo. And right here, you have a drawing of Charlie, Angel Dust, and Vaggie enjoying a movie night. Oh my god! I don't know what they are watching, but if anything, I hope they enjoy it. Well, Vaggie's not. If it's anything about losing an eye, then yeah, don't give her PTSD. But obviously with Charlie and Angel Dust, actually, no, scratch that. No, just block that out. Block whatever I said. Just it. Don't, just disregard anything of what I said. So yeah, so this is the last page right here. Again, super sorry for the glare. So yeah, so then you have that. Once again, the Charlie Baggy and Angel Dust enjoying movie night. Again, I just love the expressions. I just love Vivziepop's style because of all the expressions and everything, and all the character designs. I mean, they're just so good. And with that, that is the end of the art of Vivziepop Volume 2, and you, Katie Killjoy. So yeah, so this is the back right here. This just the Hazbin Hotel poster, if anything. And yeah. Oop. I did not mean to do that. It's getting a little hoppy. Alright, now that I finished showing you guys what's inside both art books, let's bring out the first book again, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts. Alright everyone, so those were the two art books from Vivziepop. So I hope you enjoyed me showcasing all the artworks that were within both Volume 1 and Volume 2. Even though that I talked way too much throughout this entire video, which I greatly apologize for that. It's just that I was very, very excited to showcase all the artworks that Vivienne had made over the years. And not only that, because I think if I recall, there was only one other person that had ever showcased what was inside both volumes. And they only showed like a few pages within them and not the whole entire thing. And like what I said earlier, because the fact that the books are con exclusive and you can only get them if you end up meeting Vivienne in person. So I figured that, hey, if there were any Vivziepop fans out there that were curious to know what was inside both books, then hey, why not make a video about this? So yeah, so again, super duper sorry for talking way too long throughout this entire video, but I still hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Alright, that's enough rambling. So if you guys are curious to know which of the two books that I personally enjoyed the most, I would definitely have to say Volume 1 was my favorite because it contained a very good variety of artworks that Vivienne had made for most of her past ideas and projects to that of Hazbin Hotel. I mean, that's not to say that Volume 2 was anywhere bad. I mean, I did personally enjoy seeing all the artworks there. It's just that I liked Volume 1 just a little bit more. But I do hope that at some point in the future that Vivienne could possibly make a third volume or maybe even like a giant book that contains the majority of her artworks. Like you can combine both of these together and just make a giant book that contains a lot of her artworks that she has made from past to present. I mean, similar to what the Crewniverse did for Steven Universe after the show ended, along with Studio MDHR, the creators of Cuphead, and even Lackadaisy as well. So who knows, maybe one day Vivienne might make another one someday. Oh, and I also forgot to mention one other fun fact about JJ that I completely forgot to tell you guys earlier in this video when I was reviewing Volume 1, so I'm just gonna go back to you. Sorry about that, Alistair, you'll be back in the spotlight in just a second. So another reason why JJ is a very, very popular character within both Zoophobia and also amongst Vivienne's characters, that's because she ended up starring in Vivziepop's fan-made animation that she made for one of Kesha's songs, Die Young. As that animation was not only one of Vivienne's most popular videos and also helped boost Zoophobia's popularity, but also that was the one video that ended up kickstarting Vivienne's career. But sadly, years later, the video was eventually unlisted and then later privatized due to unknown reasons. But from what I recall, I think the main reason why the video was eventually taken down was due to the legal issues surrounding the season finale of Helluva Season 1, Queen Bee. Because for anyone who doesn't remember, the episode was heavily delayed due to legal reasons that I think was surrounding because of Kesha and the record company that she was associated with, because like they had to replace some of the music that she sung in the episode. So even though sadly it's no longer on Vivienne's channel, many people had re-uploaded the animations, so I'll definitely leave the link in the description below if you guys want to see it. And I'm telling you guys, it is one of the most amazing videos I've ever seen on Vivienne's channel, and it's definitely something that you will not regret seeing. Alright, just gonna move you back into the spotlight, Alistair. Now, I greatly apologize for removing you for the past few minutes. It's just that I really, really wanted to say something about JJ, so I greatly, greatly apologize for doing that. Just please don't get revenge on me or try to kill me in any way, shape, or form. Please. Just please. I'm super duper sorry. Yeah, alright. Enough messing around. Okay, so before I end the video, there are two more things that I wanted to say. So, first off, I'm sure that this question has been on your mind throughout this entire video, and I definitely should have addressed this way earlier, but I completely forgot. But hey, I mean, it's better late than never. So, I bet you're wondering, how much do these two books cost? Because I might want to buy it one day if I end up meeting Vivziepop in person. So, I'm just gonna give you guys a little heads up. I'm not trying to discourage you in any way, shape, or form, but the two books, they're not really that cheap. So they were $60 each. And I know that's pretty pricey, but I can understand why they are that much because, again, because they're con exclusives and therefore they're very hard to get. But also, no matter what career or job that you're in, everybody would do just about anything in order to make a living. And having a career in the art world is also very difficult, especially with the high rise in AI technology. I hate that. And many of the indie cartoons that we watch on YouTube, and also the creators who create them, they rely on our support in order to help fund them. So that's why in the end, we gotta look at the bigger picture because, again, everyone has to do whatever it takes to make a living. And finally, for anyone who's curious to know more about my time at Level Up Expo, I might make a video where I recap my entire experience at the con, as I was originally going to do a vlog before I changed my mind. But if I don't end up making that video, all I can simply say is that Level Up Expo was definitely one of the best cons I've ever been to in my entire life. It was a lot of fun to talk to many of the fans of Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss, and even getting the chance to meet the cast and crew of the show. It was just the most. But also seeing the many different shops and stands at the convention was also cool to see, especially the glitch shop. That one was the best one. And even the Helluva Boss panels were fun to watch as well. And little fun fact, I filmed 2 out of the 3 panels while I was there. I didn't end up filming the 3rd one because I flew back home on the 3rd day. And I know that some people had already showed the sneak peeks for upcoming stuff for Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel, including the crossover. But I'm still going to share both videos, especially the Q&A parts for anyone who is interested. Oh, and the last thing that I want to say about my experience at the con is that I ended up meeting a certain voice actor who I've been wanting to meet for such a long time. He was super amazing to talk to, and I even made a print for him as a gift. And I even had a copy of it as well, and he signed it for me. And little spoilers, it was Michael Kovach. But that story is for another video. Alright, and that is everything that I have to say. So here's the books again one last time. Here's the front. And again, here is the back, featuring a lot of the prints that Vivziepop ended up making over the years, and the official poster for the Hazbin Hotel pilot. Alright, and that is the end of the video. So I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Keep supporting indie animation, and I'll see you guys in whatever I make next. See you, my Fredinators. And...
This guy is a total disgrace. Last I check, your love life's a pile of shit.
that was a good one.
Maybe